Good morning, welcome to Planet Mojo. Today I'm going to do the last frost seeding of 2020. The majority of it is going to be prairie grasses like these here and those back there, but I also have some purple coneflower and mixed flowers right there. All of it is native to Wisconsin. So let's go over the seeds here. This is the tops of some big bluestem. This is all I'm going to plant of this, and I believe I'm going to put all of this down in the North Prairie down there. The North Prairie has the least amount of prairie grasses growing in it, so I need to get a lot of seed in there. This stuff back here I'll go over later. That's all going to be planted in room 13 under lights. This is Canada Rye, as is this bucket right here and the majority of this bucket here. I do believe there's some silky rye mixed in with it, but I can't say for sure. I can't remember if I actually planted silky rye or not, but some of these look very silky, so I'm guessing I did. So all of those seeds and this are going to get planted along the edge of the pasture up here, along the edge of the pasture on the other side of the road, and along the edge of the woods down in the North Prairie. Then we have Indian grass. Look at the difference in that color. These were just picked at different times of the year. Pretty interesting. These are going to go, some of it's going to go down in Jason Junction down there. A little bit's going to go in Bigfoot, and a little bit's going to go in this back prairie right here. And a little bit's going to go in the Pooh Prairie. I just started calling it that because this is the septic mound, and the septic mound kind of goes into the edge of the little prairie right here, the little triangle. There's almost no prairie grasses in there, and I really don't want Indian grass to take over the area because this is a pretty tall grass. So I want to get a lot of bluestem in there, but unfortunately I don't have bluestem seed anymore. I've already seeded it with bluestem, but I don't want to get too much of the Indian grass in there. Then we have side Oats Grama. This is a shorter grass, and it's often sold in short prairie grass seed mixes. They sell this along with buffalo grass and blue grama as a short grass, but this will get about 2 feet tall, so it's not that short. What I'm going to do with this is plant it along the edges of the burn right here and the edges of the burn right back here. And finally we have June grass. June grass prefers really poor soils, even salty soils. So this is going to go at the very end of the prairie patch right there where it's all rocky and gravelly. I'm going to plant some of it there and some of it right into the gravel along the road up here. Then we have the seeds that are going to get started in room 13. Some of the June grass. This is prairie drop seed. I'm not sure if any of this is going to grow or not. This is the seed from the first season prairie drop seed that I planted this year, and it does not look very big. I might have to get a packet of prairie drop seed if I want to start some this year. Purple milkweed. This is an endangered plant in Wisconsin, and I bought these to plant last year, and they got forgotten in the refrigerator, so I got to get those planted. I believe I'm just going to plant these right into the ground. These are actually sky blue aster. I don't have a lot of places where I can plant flowers yet. I'm concentrating almost 100% on grasses right now. So I might be able to find a place for that in the more established garden or out front. We'll have to see about that. And then we have foul manna grass. This grows in wet areas, and what I'm going to do is continue the gray water line under the road over there, and I'm going to make a small catchment area for the gray water, and it's going to have this and cattail and maybe another wet area grass growing there. And then we have split-beard bluestem. It's another bluestem. I don't know what this looks like or anything other than, you know, there's some lame pictures online, but this is going to get planted in clumps in the front gardens there, and then possibly a few clumps back here as well. And then once I see what it looks like and how it grows, I'll spread it to other places by collecting seed like this. And then we have sand drop seed. Again, I'm going to have to see how that looks and how it grows and stuff. I'm going to plant a few flats of it in the gardens here, and then the rest of the seed is going to get distributed in these back prairies. All right, what I'm going to do is put some of these bags in my pocket and then take one bucket at a time and go plant in the different areas. It's going to take all day, so let's get at it. All right, I'm walking to the first place where I'm going to throw seed, and I toss seed along this little trail I made. This is the Walnut Trail. This is Virginia Rye, and we're pretty much in the middle of the woods right here, and it's growing just fine. You could see that the deer have eaten a lot of the seed heads on it, but so far the winter's been really mild, so they didn't need to eat it all up, but they'll get at this stuff sooner or later. So what I brought along with me for this one is all of the Canadian rye, and then I have Indian grass, big bluestem, and they gave these to me for free. I'm just going to toss them. But this stuff is going to go in the North Prairie and right in this area right here. So I need to get to that back corner of the lot and start tossing seeds. I can kind of see what's going on now. There's two different varieties of the Canada Rye. I was looking at one last night, and it has more of a fluorescent green look, and that's what I found with the seeds as well. So I probably don't have any silky rye, and I should get some of that this year. It only takes a couple of these plants to get established, and this stuff spreads pretty quick. And it likes to grow in shady locations like all of the ryes. So along the edge of the woods here is a good start for it. You can see all the garlic mustard right here. I'm gonna have to get in here in the spring and spray that with 2,4-D. That'll knock out the garlic mustard, but still allow the grasses to grow. And at some point, maybe I can knock this stuff back. It's just everywhere in this chunk of woods. I got it pretty much eliminated in other areas, but it's just rampant right here. I'm spreading a bit of seeds here and there, like right over there, where there's bare patches along this path here. Yeah, this is all Virginia rye, and we'll get some of this Canada rye mixed in along with it. It is almost the end of fall. I think we got 3 more days of fall left. 2 or 3. Yeah, garlic mustard all over the place. Seed some of this right on top of it, and then spray this in the spring. There's an old savanna tree right there. You can see that all of these lower branches are dead, and it had to shoot up towards the sky once all these little maples and stuff started growing here. It's kind of a shame. This was in the aerial survey from the mid-30s, and it was very good size at that time. Yeah, that's kind of a shame. There's another one right there that I'll be clearing around real soon, but I don't think this one is going to make it. Oh well. This is the corner of the North Pasture right here, and that's the beginning of the North Prairie. So I'll be going along the edge of the woods the entire way to the other side, and that's the only place I'm going to toss the rye. And then on my way back, I'll be tossing the big bluestem and the Indian grass. There's an old deer run that I took into here. This is it right here. And it kind of disappears into the woods right here. But this deer run right here, right behind the house, we camped on this when we first bought the property. We call the area Camp Misery. Everybody has stories of that camp out. My brother's car got stuck here for, I think it was 2 weeks. It rained the entire time. My sister got like third-degree burns. One hell of a camp out. So I'm like right at the edge of the woods. I'm gonna walk right through here. Everything up that way has either been hacked and squirted, or some of it's been spared. Like, where is it? There's an oak right there with a blue flag on it. And I thought there was another one right over. Oh, right there. That's a nice tall walnut. There's a bunch of bigger walnuts in here. I'm going to leave those alone. And almost everything else is getting cleared out of here. There's a few nice oaks in here as well. I'm going to be planting a few bur oaks in here, but the majority of this stuff is just coming out. All right, I'm going to go up around here and get along the edge of the woods here. There's piles of scat like this everywhere. So it looks like they're coming this way as well, and right through here. And the first year I had this channel, it was right up here a little bit. That's where I found that fawn. It was just laying right off the side of the deer run. I'll put a link to that video above. All right, now to head right through there. I made it down to the end of the prairie. That's the rock road right there. There's the neighbor's place. This is, he came in here with the dozer and did a little bit of clearing earlier this year. So it made like a little triangle of total mess here. This is all a bunch of down trees and stuff like that. I'm gonna get the whole back side of this, and I think I'll go right into here and then use up the rest of the seeds. And then the Indian grass and big bluestem I'm going to put in the middle of the prairie up here. All right, I'm in the middle of this messy triangle here. Like I said earlier, what grows, grows. This stuff actually has a real good germination rate, and frost seeding it is a real good way to seed it. So I'm gonna guess I have Canada Rye growing all over the place next year. And then once I plant the larger prairie grasses, they will essentially take over. This stuff isn't as long-lived and hardy as like Indian grass or the bluestems. All right, let me get out of this. Yeah, this is all brambles and stuff. Our dozer guy came through here and he shaped the edges of the vineyard. This used to be like a ditch running along here. He shaped it out into a gradual V like that and got rid of an old walnut stump up there. But I had him push, there was a bunch of stuff right here. I had him push that into the corner there. So that's why this is like that. Yeah, you can see where it's starting to clear and the grasses are starting to grow into the woods. The edge of the field used to go right through here. Well, it actually used to be way up there. So every year The horses come down a little further, but we're not going to be able to continue to do that. All right, I'm going to go right through here, get rid of the rest of the seed, and then go pick up the rest of the seed. Yeah, there's piles of scat everywhere in this little area. So with these seeds, this is all I have for this area. I'm looking for places just like this where you got some bare ground, and I'm actually gonna, more gently apply the seeds to it than I have with the Canada Rye. All right, let's move it along. Somebody's shooting over there. Not sure if the camera picked that up or not. Doesn't sound too far away. This area right here, the pasture grasses have kind of moved down into the woods, but you can see right next to that, this is all Indian grass right here. It's not quite as big as the stuff that's growing up top because it's in a slightly shady area, but as this opens up, like I'm going to be burning that next year. Some of these trees are going, well, all of these trees are going, they're all dead. And as they fall, I got to dice them up and burn them, or bring them up to the house and burn them. But as more light gets in here, this will be some big grass here. That's one of my bur oaks right there with that stake. So when I go past this stuff, especially if I'm just out walking, I strip the seeds off and toss it right nearby. And if I can, jostle it around a little bit, and that'll help spread this patch a bit. Well, it looks like the deer bit off the top of my little bur oak there. It should re-sprout from the roots really easy next year, but I'll have to get down here and spray these with deer repellent in the spring. I'll probably have to put little cages around here until they get bigger. Alright, this is the one along the edge of the road here. It doesn't appear to have any damage. I should probably put a little cage around this before it's too late. There's another one right there, and that one has a wood pile right next to it, so there's probably a rabbit living in there. That was probably a rabbit that bit the top off. Let's see what this one looks like. I didn't think I'd have any problems with these, but apparently I did. It appears to be fine. These things are so small. Hopefully they'll get a lot bigger this coming year, and I will cage at least these three. Got a pile of poo about 10 feet away from my tree. Little bastards. Yeah, I'll just put a little cage on that. There's a couple more up that way that are kind of in the woods too. I'm gonna have to take a look at those and see if the animals are messing with those as well. Yeah, you can really see the results of the hack and squirt in here now. Dead trees like this, but a lot of broken ones like that one. And the trees that just fall down and fall apart like these birches. But there's just tons of branches everywhere too. Look at all the trees that fell up that way. Pretty soon this is going to be clear except for these oaks here and there, and a couple new bur oaks in here, and a ton of prairie grasses. This grass right through here, and there's a patch there, a little bit down there. That's all Indian grass. It's got that real pale color to it in the fall, pale yellow. And I just stripped off a lot of the seeds off of this stuff, but there's going to be seeds on that right there. So I'm going to go over that way, strip any seeds off that I find, and then get into some areas like this that don't really have any prairie grasses. I'm back by the gate for the north pasture, and one of my little bur oaks is here, and it was bitten off. Damn. There is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more right in this little area. I'm gonna go check on those as well. I remember now, that one's dead, the one under the big dead oak there. This one is just fine. We have one right here. That one is just fine. And then one on the side of the trail right there. One up by where I burned, and I know there's a problem with that. I stepped backwards while I was burning and snapped it off at the ground. So let's check that one and the one up at the top of the hill there. All right, this one along the road, and this was one of the best ones, is just fine. Even if these are bit off, if the roots are established, they'll just shoot up a new tree, and they grow really fast after that. They'll make up for that little bit of stem that was lost in no time. That American chestnut that was bitten off, that was the first year I had the channel. I selected one of the sprouts at the root there, and it's now, whatever, 5, 6 feet tall in 3 years, and it's really bushy, real nice tree. All right, so that one was stepped on, so it's just the one up in the yard right there. All right, at first glance, it looks like it's just perfectly fine, but something's been chewing on the stem right here, and a branch was bitten off there and there. I'm gonna have to get a little cage around this before something bites it off right at the ground. Won't be hard. And a glimpse of the beautiful burn area. I'm hoping my buffalo grass comes back here next year, which I believe it will. The birds have been going here. They're probably eating all that foxtail seed. At least I hope so. All right, now we have the side Oats Grama going along the burn there. Indian grass going here, and the June grass along the road. I might have to toss those another day because it's already 2:30. I've been doing this now for 4.5 hours. Holy moly. All right, let's at least get these 3 tossed. All right, I got some side Oats Grama right along through here. I think I'm going to get a little bit more at the bottoms of these burns right here. I got a good amount right here. Then I'm just going to follow this burn through there till it stops. And then I'm going to toss the rest of the seeds at the bottom edge of that burn by the septic system there. In my recent burn video, I was talking about how it can be pretty easy to pull out the foxtail because a lot of tops can be connected to one root. This is what I'm talking about. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's a dozen tops on this one root here. So if the foxtail comes back in this area next year, I hope to get out here and just yank it out. And what I do is weed and seed. I'll pull the plant out, yank it out by the roots, drop some seed in there, and then knock the soil off the roots back into the hole, and then just toss the plant. You got to do that before it gets seed heads on it though. All right, I'm gonna keep going along the edge of this burn right here, and then over to the septic mound. All right, I'm at the very end of the burn here, and look at that, there's my tree. I was standing right here and stepped back and I heard something snap, and I must have been looking at this or something. Tree's still there. That's good. This is my corner tree. I'm going to be getting rid of this cedar And I've hacked and squirted most of these, if not all of them. Everything with a red tie on has been hacked and squirted. And then next year, the rest of them are going to get hacked and squirted. So this tree and the one that I just showed you earlier on the other side of this tree here, those will be the only trees right in this area, along with the big walnut there. Oh, and this cedar. All right, that's good. I really got to get these covered though. All right, now all I have left is the Indian grass, and I'm gonna wander through here and then go through the lower area in the back prairie over there. And then I just have the June grass, which is gonna go in the real rocky area in the prairie patch there and along the road over there. Yeah, you can see the seed here, and if you can see it, then the birds will see it too. I'm trying to step it in a little bit on the way back, mix it in with the burnt stuff so it's not so easy to see. This side Oats Grama seed is really big, so the birds are certainly going to notice it. You can see it right there. It doesn't take a whole bunch of seed to get a patch growing though. And I planted right at the edge along this whole side right here and that entire patch right there. So it'll be interesting to see if that stuff comes up in the spring. All right, I'm gonna go back and get this area right here and then walk right through the middle right there. All right, I'm getting the June grass in this rocky area along the road and a little bit inwards, but you can see this is what frost seeding does. The ground cracks like this, and then the seeds, when this gets moist again, that'll all close up. And it keeps opening and closing during the winter if there's snow on top of it. So the seeds will get nice and stratified and buried below the surface, and it's just a really good way to seed. So I'm gonna do a little bit more here, and then a little bit along the road up there, and I'm going to take that big bucket of flower seeds and go all along the edge of the pasture all the way up to that wood pile, and then I'll be done. Here is my existing June grass. Got one there, one here, and a couple right here, and one right here. Hopefully I'll have these all over the place at some point. All right, I'm on the road right near the head of the ravine. This used to be mostly sumac and a few trees, but this was just a tangle of stuff in here. I cleared most of it out, and I planted Virginia rye, which is right here. And you can see the Canada rye back there. I could swear I planted some silky rye somewhere, but it'll be on video if I did, because that kind of looks like silky rye. Maybe, maybe not. But you could see how well that takes hold here. And it looks like something was bedding right here. The hack and squirt trees fell right here, and a bunch of branches and trees are falling right there. All of this stuff was hacked and squirted as well. I have a ton of stuff that I got to get with the chainsaw. A lot of this stuff just needs picking up though. All right, I'm going to start with my seeding right at the corner here, and then just follow the fence all the way down to the gate down there, and then come up to the road, and I will be done. All right, I went all the way up to the road back there. I'm back in the far corner of the west pasture. This used to be a gate. We still call it the back gate, but we had to take it out because the road was being abused. I was just noticing how much stuff has fell in this area. That's new, the big one there, and then there's a couple big branches on the other side of that. And then this one, which is on top of this one, that's all new. And this is just a bunch of branches that fell from these that fell. Yeah, this is just a total tangle in here. I really got to get in here with the chainsaw and cut this stuff up. The stuff that's good enough for firewood, just take with me. But the other stuff, I just stack up and let it become habitat for the creatures. The milk snake really loves them stacks of wood. Some of these have been here for a long time, like that one and this one, but a lot of that stuff just fell. And we have a ton of stuff over here that just fell. You could see these trees that were girdled. I came through here and girdled a bunch of these aspen when we first bought these lots here. And you could see they're dropping a lot of stuff. Got a lot of woodpecker damage. And the more the woodpeckers peck at it, the weaker they get. And then a wind will come and just take it down. These will rot out if I leave them on the ground, but I really want to get this area cleared. Yeah, just a total mess. It'd probably take me a couple weeks to get this cleared, doing it part-time, but I really should do it. All right, I got a bit of seed left. I'm going to toss that along the fence as I go back. And I never did that June grass, so I got to do that up by the road, and then I'll be done. Hello, horses. The two girls right here, Frankie and Windsor, are real curious as to what I'm doing. They probably figure there might be food in this bucket. Nothing there, girls. No, no biting. No, it's empty, honey. Nothing in there. Empty. I'll get you a treat when I get back up there, honey. I'll get you a treat. Hello, Mr. Mark. You two following me? There's nothing in the bucket. Windsor's got that hair under her chin, her winter coat. She looks like a mule. She's an Arabian. I believe she's an Arabian. Hello, Mr. Mark. This is our big boy. Yeah, he looks so much bigger than these two girls. No, nothing in there, honey. All right, I gotta go throw some seed. I'm being mobbed by horses. I got these two checking my pockets and this one checking my bucket. All right, a bit more seed right up there on the road and I am done. All right, the head of the ravine is right there. And there's one of those bur oaks. This is the second one. There's one on the other side as well. I don't think either one of these made it, but just showing the location. This is where I stopped seeding with the June grass. And I started up by that big cottonwood up there. So I just sprinkled it all along the edge of the road, right in the grass and the gravel, all the way up to here. We'll see if any of it makes it. All right, the sun's going down. And I've been at this for about 6 hours now, but I have all of my seed planted. It's actually starting to look really nice here. You can see the prairie grasses growing here and there, and slowly but surely the perennial rye is dying back and the prairie grasses are taking over. Every year it gets a little better. Tomorrow I will be doing the review of the DeWalt chainsaw. I'm going to go get the batteries on the charger as soon as I'm done with this video. And having been over the majority of the area, I think I'm going to go down right in here. I'm going to take that big battery and I'm going to cut in this area until the battery goes dead. We'll see how long that takes. And then I have several more big batteries that I can just keep going and try to get a bunch of this cleared out. So make sure you tune in for that next week sometime, I believe. And if you don't want to miss anything, make sure you subscribe and click on the update icon. If you have any questions or comments, make sure you put them in the comment section below. And if you share the video and or give it a like, it helps the channel out greatly. Thanks for watching and have a great day.